Guys, check out this new invention, magnetic seam sealer. All you gotta do is slap it on there, paint it, and it's almost OEM.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna continue working on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. And as you know, we just got back from the frame machine, so that means the most important part of this process is complete. All the frame damages are finally repaired, but we still got a few more finishing touches, so let's just go ahead and unload it, pull it inside the garage, and we'll show you guys what we got left.
So we got the Jeep inside, and I gotta say V2 knocked it out with this framework. All the gaps line up perfectly, but we do have a few more things that we need to finish up before we start actually getting this thing prepped for some paint. If you want to go ahead and check the inside out over here, dude, all the spot welds are perfect, but we do gotta finish up welding this floor pan right here all the way down. We just didn't have time to weld that in, but that's no big deal. We got a welder. We're gonna turn that sucker up and weld all those holes up. And as for the quarter panel, I think we need to do like 2 spot welds right here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna just probably do that with the MIG welder. We're not gonna use that spot welder in there because
that thing kind of died on us, man.
Kind of died on us at the end.
We put that thing to work and got our money's worth of that sucker right there. It was like 160, and man, we got all the welds.
Hey, we put about 160 bucks worth of spot welds. I'll tell you what, we did a lot of them. They were really strong at the beginning here. These are really strong, but then towards the end, it wasn't as strong. So
yeah, that thing got super hot and it just wouldn't work, you know?
So we're just gonna MIG weld. We're gonna drill a hole and MIG weld it. It'd be a lot stronger that way.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot simpler. I mean, we do still gotta grind all these spot welds down because we did some reinforced spot welds everywhere. And as for the back over here, we do have a few more, and then we're gonna seam seal all this. And we do have a tip to actually mimic that seam over there. It's actually a seam sealer bead that's about 1 inch thick, and hopefully we can mimic that sucker so it looks OEM. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually pull out our welder, our grinder, and hopefully get this thing ready for some paint. So we got this area all cleaned up, ready to be welded. We need to just go ahead and actually pull our welder out. It's all the way over there behind the DRZs, and we got some beautiful weather out today, so we need to just go ahead and crank these suckers up and do a little bit of ripping.
Do some throttle twisties and some stoppies and some wheelies.
Man, they haven't ran in a long time, so let's go ahead and actually give them some cold starts and see how they sound, man. I don't even know if they'll crank right up, man. They've been sitting all winter.
Might have some bad gas in them, but yeah, dude, if you're down south, Tennessee, Georgia, man, you know how beautiful the weather is today, man. It's like summertime, man.
Oh yeah, it feels really good, dude.
Fire it up.
Oh, battery's kind of weak.
Put the choke up.
Woo. Might need to roll down the hill. This one's dead.
Try to start it one more time. Dang, man, she's dead, man. They've been sitting too long. Let's go do a little jump start down that hill.
Yeah.
Too much compression. All right, let's try to fire it up. I'm gonna hold the clutch. I'm gonna hit the throttle here.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So that's enough ripping for now. We already brought in the welder, and we're gonna start with this rocker panel here that we spliced in. All we gotta do is finish up welding it up right there. Then we're gonna move onto the floor pan, and then we'll just go from there.
guys, so check this out. Got this sucker all welded up, grinded down. It's nice and uniform. It's gonna need a little bit of body work, probably like a thin layer of sealskin. But right now, we're actually gonna jump onto the inside of this tub. And as you can tell over here, all these drilled out spot welds are gonna need to be filled up with some welds. So let's go ahead and actually fire that welder up, straighten everything out, weld it up nicely. And then we're probably gonna grind it down and apply a thin layer of seam sealer.
Alright, so check this out, guys. We finally got this floor pan completely welded in and also sanded, but we're gonna pause right there because we do need to grab some supplies. We need to grab a scuff pad to scuff this surface before we apply our seam sealer, and also we wanna grab some extra seam sealer, that way we don't run out. And while we're at it, we might as well grab our firecracker red paint. So let's run to the store and see what we can come up with. All right, so we are here at the CarQuest. We got about $850 worth of supplies here. Our firecracker red paint. We got Standox, that's some high quality stuff. We got some seam sealer. We got a bunch of Scotch-Brite scuff pads and a few other items. So let's head back and we're gonna get straight back to work. All right, so we are back, and the very first thing that we're gonna do is actually scuff all these spot welds. Then we're gonna wax and grease remove everything, and then probably throw a bead of seam sealer, and then we're gonna smooth it out with this brush right here. So let's go ahead and crack open this box and scuff this stuff down. Alrighty guys, so the seam sealer just went down and it looks absolutely amazing. It is nice and smooth, but it is gonna look a lot better with some paint on it, of course, which we're probably gonna blend about half of this floor pan just to get it looking almost OEM. But before we do any type of painting, we still got a good bit of work on our hands. We gotta finish up welding this pillar up here and also add a few spot welds at the bottom. And of course, we gotta finish up this quarter panel with some welds and some seam sealer. And then we got a bunch of body work on our hands. We still gotta add a good bit of a glazing putty there, a thin skim coat of glazing putty on all the spot welds. Then we're gonna sand it all down, and then we're gonna pretty much just prime everything. So we still got a good bit of work on our hands, but this is getting us closer and closer to spraying some red paint. So here it goes, the moment of truth. Let's see if we can mimic an OEM, what do you call it, seam sealer
seam sealer pattern, basically exactly like that one out the back over there.
It's like a bunch of ripples.
Yeah, it's like a little ripple effect, which we bought a tip to mimic that effect.
And this tip right here is not out yet. Somebody on eBay somehow had some inside information or something.
They probably worked for that factory, and they actually came out and sold this one, and we bought it.
Exactly.
We're like, dude.
As soon as I seen that, I was like, dude, scoop that one right there.
And there is like a little line right here. You see this line? This is actually made for, I mean, if you want to just slide it up against like this, you see that?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I might just freehand it, but let's go ahead and test it. Where should we do it?
On this box right here, or yeah, let's test it on this box.
All right,
That'll
you
work.
ready?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
I'm kind of scared, you know?
I'm excited, dude. I want to see how this works because I've always wanted to make an OEM seam seal. Whoa, dude. That is awesome. Don't waste no more, dude.
All right, that's it.
This is the seam sealer that came with that tip. That's some good stuff. We did buy some more. It's like heavy body.
This is what I'm using, the heavy body one.
That's the heavy body gun?
This is the one that it came with the tip right here.
Exactly, but we did buy some 3M heavy body. That'll probably be the exact same stuff.
Yeah, same stuff.
But yeah, let's go ahead and send it, and then we'll move on to some body work. So there goes our first attempt to try to replicate the OEM seam sealer, and it turned out pretty dang good. As you can tell, there's tons of ripples throughout, but if you get real close, it is pretty fat. There's a lot of product in there, but that was the only way we could get it to ripple. I guess it's because you're going up and down. On a flat surface, it is nice and slim, nice and thin. That's how we would like it, but I guess we're just gonna leave that for now. If it comes down to it and we have to redo it, you can easily peel that off. Well, we're probably gonna do a little bit more research, see if we can figure this out. And I think what would be ideal is actually an electric gun like this, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be really nice because you're trying to squeeze out some thick product through like a thin little line,
and
dude.
You gotta pause at times and it just screws up the whole pattern. But we're gonna leave that for now. As of right now, we're gonna move back up front and try to knock out some body work and try to just get closer to some primer. So we just applied some sealskin over all the welds. It is currently drying, but unfortunately we won't be able to sand it tonight because we actually ran out of 180 grit and all the stores are closed because it is super late and we got a huge mess on our hands that we're probably gonna clean up right now. So we're gonna have to just catch you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, so it is the next day here. We went ahead and grabbed all of our supplies, but before we continue working, you might have noticed a brand new t-shirt. We did drop this in a different color and they sold out pretty quick, but if you want this red and black color, definitely check out goonzquad.com and cop you one and help support your boys. But as of right now, let's get back to sanding and try to get this stuff primed in. Alright, so everything is sanded and we are ready to wrap this thing up and prime it in. But before we do any of that, we want to go ahead and actually pull both of these Ferraris out because we don't want no overspray on them, and these suckers haven't been started in such a long time, so hopefully the batteries are not dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually start the For Sure GT3 up first and see if this thing will crank. Dang, son, these suckers are filthy, man. Look at that. I guess we'll let the rain give them a quick wash. You know what
definitely.
I mean?
The rain will wash these Ferraris up. But dude, this thing is a beast. The interior, dude, I totally forgot because it's been sitting for such a long time.
Stored away.
But we are waiting on this rear bumper. It still hasn't came in yet. It should be here like real soon, right?
Actually, in a couple more days. And the reason why it took so long is because these are custom made. Handmade, I believe, or something like that.
Handmade, hand laid, whatever, dude. This thing is a beast. I mean, all we got left is basically a windshield, right? That's it.
Windshield and a rear bumper, and that's it. And we're gonna take this sucker to Cletus McFarland's Freedom Factory.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
That'd be insane, dude. This is like a track car. We got a bunch of track cars. The Viper, man, we need to get them suckers out there.
American car right there, dude. This thing's such a.
And that car right there, though, that's like
straight race car.
That's a straight up race car. It only needs a few more little things, but we're gonna get on that here real soon.
Yeah, real soon, man. These things are beasts. But right now, let's go ahead and try to get that dang Jeep primed in before the paint comes in, man.
Exactly. We got the paint in, and I'm ready to throw some paint, dude.
Some firecracker red paint.
Firecracker freedom right there.
But anyways, let's go ahead and probably tape all this up, see how well we can tape it up, because I mean there ain't really much to cover up in this thing. So let's go ahead and throw some tarp and hopefully get this thing primed in.
All right, so everything is finally primed in. We also threw some guide coat that's just gonna let us know when to quit sanding, not to over sand. And we also did some etching primer on the back here on all these welds so they don't rust. And that's pretty much it. That stuff is gonna dry and we're gonna wet sand that probably in the next video. And that's pretty much it for the bodywork, except for this windshield frame. And this is aluminum, and it did kind of get weirdly pushed in, so that's gonna be pretty tough right there. But I think we could easily knock that out right there. But as of right now, how are we gonna paint this thing?
We're probably gonna paint the door jambs first, like we always do. I think that's just the best method. You know, we're gonna sand all this stuff down, paint the inside, and paint the back of the doors as well.
And we almost forgot to tell them about the sealer. We're gonna use white sealer because it's really important, especially with vibrant colors like this red. It looks like this had some maroon sealer behind it, but I think white will do perfect. And there is tons of coats on it. As you can tell here, if you zoom in, there's a thick coat of paint on there. You can't even tell if there's welds there. So
yeah, they threw probably like six coats of paint, almost kind of like the Dodge Viper. Remember how
the Viper took about, I don't know, like 10 coats? I don't remember.
Dude. We threw so much coats on there. I mean, the OEM coats were like 5 or 6.
Oh yeah, them solid colors. This is a solid color. There's no metallics or whatsoever in it. So it's gonna be pretty challenging, but it's gonna be pretty fun as well. As this seam seal right here, I think we're gonna try to redo it because it is kind of thick, and I think we got a different alternative. So let's go ahead and strip that and show you guys what we can come up with. That turned out a lot better than this one, actually. It's a lot thinner and there's more ripples, dude. Definitely looks a lot more OEM than this.
Oh yeah, we just gotta kind of cut off the access right here. There's like a little flap.
Yeah, dude, but that turned out absolutely amazing. We're a lot happier with that one than this one, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
That's a little too thick.
The little magnetic invention kind of didn't work. Maybe we'll make it a lot better in the future, but you know, this is just for reference right here. If we need something just slap it on. Where's the seam? We can just slap it right here.
Patent pending.
Patent pending, that's right, folks.
There you have it, guys. That is gonna be a wrap for today's video. We are very close to getting this sucker painted, probably in the next one, I don't know, but make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. And also be sure to follow us on Instagram where you can get an inside scoop there before YouTube. And also, if you want one of these new t-shirts, definitely check out goonzquad.com and help support your boys. So with all that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.